Previously on Destination 1040.
For me, it didn't take long to realize that travel has no meaning unless you're traveling for a purpose. So we've been married for just a little over 3 years. This is a big step forward in faith for us.
In October, we leave for a 6-month trip to Asia doing film work for Gospel Outreach.
So I was introduced to India and Gospel Outreach in 2017. And that trip in 2017 really changed my life. And I fell in love with the people of India. You know, leaving the people that we care about and the comforts that we've grown accustomed to is not going to be an easy thing. Oftentimes, our hope and plan is to actually live with the people because we want to get a feel for what their life is like and how Jesus has changed their life. And the only way that we can really capture that is by living with the people. The next time you see us, we will be getting on a plane headed for the country of Nepal. Hello and welcome to episode 2 of Destination 1040. We are on our way to Nepal, and the reason why we're headed there is because a Gospel Outreach director tipped us off about a Bible worker living in a little rock hut in one of the most remote regions in all of Nepal. We have to meet this man for ourselves, but I can tell you right now, this trip is not going to be easy.
Welcome to Doha, the state of Qatar, your gateway to the world. The local time here is 4:40 in the evening.
Welcome to Kathmandu. The local time here is 51 minutes past 1 in the morning.
We have made it. We're walking to our hotel. Alright, so in this episode, we are traveling to the remote mountainous district of Rukam. So, good morning from the country of Nepal. Off to get sleeping bags. Now, the temperatures are going to be dropping into the low 30s at night, so first thing on our agenda is to go and get some good sleeping bags.
Are you warm enough yet?
Another one is like a stamp is here. How do you feel inside? You move your hand.
I'll be honest with you, I kind of want to take a nap.
You move your hand and you see different.
Yeah, there's lots of
lens
room.
is good enough or not.
What's happening?
We just checked out of our hotel and we are waiting for our translator to come pick us up.
So when you think about Nepal, the one thing you think about is the mountains. At least that's what I always think about because I really love the mountains. But this country is an incredibly diverse landscape. From the majestic Himalayan mountains to the fertile plains of the east, the geographical differences here are very extreme. The price you pay for agreeing to do this, watching the camera. We are in the city of Pokhara. The term that comes to my mind when I think about international travel is hurry up and wait. There's just a whole lot of waiting until there's not, and then there's a whole lot of rushing. Directly north from Pokhara is the Annapurna Range. Now, Annapurna 1 is the world's 10th highest peak. We're just about ready to leave. Driver's already ready. He's antsy to go. This mountain was actually the first 8,000 meter peak successfully climbed in the world, despite it holding the highest fatality to summit ratio for decades. The further west we move from here, the rockier the soil becomes and the more desolate the landscape. Fuel. We're getting fuel. How is traveling, Ben?
traveling has been interesting,
How
to say the
so?
least.
From here on out, the roads will grow increasingly worse with each passing mile as we journey further into the mountains. This is the town of Bertibang, and this is the final city that we will be staying in before we reach Rukam. This also happens to be the nearest hospital for people in the area in which we will be visiting. Depending on how bad the roads are, it can take 6 to 8 hours of driving to be able to make it to this city. A little closer. A little closer. Hello. Last night, a fire alarm went off in the hall for like 2 hours. I don't know. There was a loud explosion in the hallway.
And the electricity went out.
Yeah, power went out. Power's back on now, but only one light.
Yeah.
Just a little light back there. All the rest of them, the switches don't work. Do you think maybe there's enough light switches on this wall? That's right.
Absolutely nothing.
That's okay. That's okay, though. It's time to go. How cold do you think it is?
I don't know. My phone said like 40 something.
I feel like that's wrong. It does not feel 40. Although I can see my breath. We've stopped here to get some tea at this little hut. There is what is this? What is this thing on the ground? What is this stuff on the ground? Ah, frost. That's the name of it. Listen, I'm having issues speaking right now, so bear with me. I'm kind of chilly. Nepal is home to 8 of the 14 8,000 meter peaks, which draws in hundreds of thousands of tourists every year. Tourism is really a vital part to Nepal's economy, but it also has opened up a door to Christianity as well.
We've stopped in a little village before we start heading further up into the mountains towards Takasera. Stopped to eat a little bit because we won't be to the village until probably noon or 1.
Yeah, long drive. Maybe
Yeah.
7 hours.
Yeah,
Yes.
6 or 7, something
Yeah.
like that.
She knows. No? You don't know? This place is very remote. Apparently, this village was like a main trading route between China and Nepal. There's a lot of history from this area where we're going to be visiting. There's some green chilies in there. How do you like that?
I'll probably let you eat those.
Oh, please. Got lots of sleep last night? Some? Yeah.
You were passing out though on the drive.
I
I
know.
got some video of you.
Oh, did you? Oh, no. So, the Rukam district is really only about 468 square miles, which is relatively small. But within that 468 square miles lives around 160 to 170,000 people, and many of these people have yet to know the love of Jesus. But our Bible worker is working within the Rookham district, doing just that, spreading the love of Jesus and raising up disciples. Really, Rookham is one of the most remote districts in Nepal. And so definitely one of the most challenging to work within, especially for our Bible worker Singerman, especially for people like us who want to go and visit Singerman. So these excavators behind me is just one of the ways that they're able to keep the roads open here in the Rookham district. Now, before there were roads, there were just trails, and a lot of people were walking. A lot of people walk even still to this day, but now that the roads are here, it's a little easier for people to get in and out. Some of these roads have only been here for 6 to 11 years, so this is very new. This infrastructure is very new. The company that owns these excavators, they live here, and it is their job. They're hired by the government to keep places like this path behind me open so that vehicles can get in and out. Now, there is a bit of public transportation here. There's a lot of these vehicles that you'll see running to and fro from the villages and from the cities, and those vehicles will load up with people, a lot of people. In fact, we just passed a vehicle that was carrying, 25 boxes of potatoes, which is a lot of weight. And so they run these vehicles in and out with people all the time. The road system here is still very fragile. They have a lot of things like avalanche here, mudslides, and a lot of moisture that falls every year. So there are areas where it will be inaccessible to a vehicle for weeks or even months at a time. And so we are very blessed to be able to come in here and to be able to meet with our Bible worker and with his church family and the community that he works. By next week, we may not even be able to get in here. We may have reached the end of the road, huh?
Apparently, there was a lot of rain last week, and the roads kind of washed away.
So we're gonna have to walk the last...
Who knows how long.
Walking really is a major part of life for the people in these remote villages. Oftentimes, it can take up to 4 hours one way to make it to the nearest market. For this reason, the people here try to be as self-sufficient as possible with all of the major foods they need.
His name is Singarman, and he is the gospel worker. He has started 2 churches here. So his faith is the example for the people in this area.
यहाँ आएर आफ्नो सिद्धान्तसँग गर्नुको निम्ति म हार्दिक धन्यवाद गर्दछु। अरू सबलाई पनि म अतिथि आसन गरिदिनुको निम्ति अनि दिदी मौका चाहिँ परमेश्वरले आज तपाईँ र मलाई दिनुभएको छ। यसै गरी
गर्छु भनेको भएन। हाम्रो फोनले साथ दिएन, थोरैलाई मात्र होला काठमाडौँ। पानीबाट भएर पार भएर जाँदा म तिम्रो साथमा हुनेछु।
He cannot lift his hand.
Oh no.
Too bad. It should have healed by now.
Yeah, what?
So what is the problem?
He fell down from the tree
Yes.
and broke his, that is.
Yes.
Access to proper medical care in this area is basically non-existent. In the case of an emergency, the closest hospital is a long day's journey on bumpy mountain roads in a cramped vehicle. The great need for proper medical care for many of these people was very evident. After the very gracious welcome ceremony, Singerman took us to a local home for a quick lunch. Oh, look in there. What are you eating?
Rice and
something?
curry.
Oh, and curry. A storm's a brewing. Oh boy. What did these gentlemen tell us about where we're staying?
That it is a 2-hour walk from where we are right now.
We'll see how accurate
So
that is.
yeah, that'll be.
Because the other one was supposed to be pretty long too, but... Singerman suffers from kyphosis, which is where the spinal column curves outward, causing the eventual hunched back. This deformity often causes him pain and discomfort, especially during the colder times of the year.
We thought we were going to be staying in the church, but we're actually going to be staying with the Bible worker. Also, it keeps threatening to pour rain, and none of our stuff is in waterproof containers.
Sleeping is also obviously a challenge as he is unable to lay flat. Despite this challenge in his life, we were impressed by his cheerful attitude and his love for trekking the mountainsides, sharing Jesus' name throughout the area. The road has turned to a trail, a very steep trail, and we're still walking. How far are we in?
2.55.
2.55, which doesn't sound like a lot, but on these steeper hills, it's somewhat significant. If he ever showed any dissatisfaction in his life during our visit, it was that he couldn't do more for Jesus. Very nice. Namaste. Oh, namaste.
I cannot stay alone here.
Yeah,
My life will not be, peacefully.
she wouldn't like.
Yeah, because I will not be peacefully because all wild animal can may attack me,
Yeah,
something. But this man,
he's,
amazing.
he is amazing. He is amazing, and this house looks lovely. It's laundry day here at Singerman's home. Gotta untie my shoes permanently while we're here so I can slip them on and off. Drinking out of the family trough. What did you catch?
The cat. Very friendly.
We asked Singerman if he fishes in the river, and he said yes, and we said, will you show us? And he got very excited, and now we're headed to the river to watch him try to catch a fish. Watching these men set nets in the river made me think about the camaraderie the disciples must have had in everything that they did together. So now we're here at the river. He set 1, 2, 3. They're setting a 4th to see if we can catch a fish tonight. And the guys are having a really good time showing off their fishing skills.
They've got these little nets that they put stones on to balance them and then throw them into the river and leave them there, hopefully to catch some fish. So that'll be cool. Hopefully we catch something.
The fellowship of like-minded brethren is very important to people in a culture like Nepal. For this reason, many people who learn about Jesus and believe on him are oftentimes torn between losing family for faith or staying connected to culture. Showing the love of Jesus through friendship evangelism is a very powerful way to show new believers that they are not alone in their faith.
So we set about 8 or 9 different traps for the fish. And then they're gonna leave them overnight and come back and check on them in the morning. And hopefully we've caught something. So we'll catch you later in the morning and let you know how it went.
We ended our day in worship with Singerman and his family. Even though we live half a world away in a completely different reality, we felt a very special connection with this family.
Amen. खाली चासो दिमागे देनु ना त त दिया है
बेला नजिक नजिक उडाले नपिछाल नै सिके जेरो प्रभु हैडो छु अडैसिने पोजमाले जेरो प्रभु हैडो छु नपिछाल नै सिके गराउनेहरू किनभने तिनीहरू परमेश्वरका छोराहरू दयावन्तहरू किनभने तिनीहरूले
संगतिमा हामी अन्तिम प्रार्थना गर्नेछौँ। महान दयालु परमेश्वर बुवा तपाईलाई धन्यवाद छ। स्वर्ग अनि पृथ्वी सृष्टि गर्नुहुने खुसी र आनन्दित छौँ। फेरि यो साँझको पारिवारिक संगतिलाई यहाँ अन्त
Coming up next time on Destination 1040.
So it dropped down into the lower 30s last night. We're going down to check the nets to see if there's any fish. I was just talking to someone about Singerman, and there is a village that is a 2-hour drive from Singerman's village. There is a woman in that village that asked him where he was going, and he said, "Oh, I'm going to visit my friend Singerman," and she knew exactly who he was. His name and his influence is spreading wide.
We are making rice flour, if I understand correctly.
It looks good, lady. Hello everyone, if you enjoyed this episode of Destination 1040, we want to say thank you for watching. Now, we decided to break up this Nepal episode into 2 separate episodes, so the next one we'll be looking forward to sharing with you very soon. But first off, we just want to say if you have not seen the pilot episode of this show, we want to encourage you to download our Gospel Outreach streaming app. Now, we host content for not only Gospel Outreach, but for other Adventist-affiliated organizations as well, like Adventist World Radio, Child Impact, Impact Hope, Jesus for Asia, ASAP, and many more. So if you love foreign missions and you want to keep up with all of these different Adventist-affiliated organizations, download the app. You can download it on your smartphone or your smart TV like Roku or Apple TV. Just search GOTV space missions, download the app. It's 100% free. We just want to add value and create a place where you can come and follow all of these organizations. And from there, you can watch the pilot episode of Destination 1040.
We also want to remind you about one of our main goals for this trip is to raise $100,000 for Gospel Outreach, which, if you remember from the pilot episode, is enough to sponsor 55 Bible workers for 1 year. So if you want to donate to Gospel Outreach from watching Destination 1040, when you donate online, be sure to write in the description Destination 1040, and if you send in a check, write Destination 1040 on the memo line. That way we can keep track of the donations.
Once again, thank you for your interest in Gospel Outreach and Destination 1040, and we'll be looking forward to seeing you next time.